two-time Kingman Island Ranger for Living Classrooms Foundation. My job is to help maintain heritage and Kingman Island, make sure it's safe and good shape, and welcome people to the island and provide information to the public. We had over 100,000 visitors last year. Yes, we had over 100,000 visitors last year, and we're going to have more this year. We are grateful for the District of Columbia, District of Columbia Department of Energy and Environmental supporting services, supporting this program. My apologies. My job this morning is to introduce the mayor. What I want to say is that for the more than 100 years, nothing much happened on Kingman and Heritage Island. Then in 2018, Muriel Bowser committed to finally making Kingman and Heritage Island something that we can all be proud of. She made it a conservation area and put DOE in charge and asked DC Council for almost $5 million to provide improvement. So we just all want to say thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Bowser.
Thank you. Thank you for that one. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here, and we want to welcome you to the beautiful Kingman and Heritage Islands, and we want to wish you a very happy Earth Day. Today, coincidentally, is the 51st Earth Day, and we know that is especially a good day today because the House will vote in favor, we expect, for D.C. statehood for the second time. So 51 continues to be an important number for us. We've come a long way, as you've heard, on these islands. In 2.5 years since we celebrated the year of the Anacostia and committed almost $5 million to our conservation efforts, Director Wells is going to tell you more about initiatives that have made these islands and the Anacostia River healthier and more special. We want to continue to shape the future of these islands, and we invite you to join in community meetings this spring to take advantage of all of the things that will be coming and the things that are here, like nature and fresh air, beautiful river. In fact, today we are excited to launch our new Anacostia green boats, and you see those boats behind us. This program will provide residents and neighbors with an easy and fun way to explore the Anacostia using canoes or kayaks. We're proud too that the program will be free. That said, we will ask participants to pitch in, and to pitch in by doing a little litter cleanup while they're out enjoying the river. DOEE will provide people with the tools they need to help us, and we especially, as we look for more outdoor activities, want people to think about Kingman and Heritage Islands. It's a win for the Island Rangers program that you heard Antonio talk about, which is also an important pipeline for green jobs in the district. So with that, I want to turn to Director Wells to tell you all the exciting things that are happening at DOEE for Earth Day, especially the Green Boat Initiative.
Thank you, Mayor. And I think the Mayor understates the role she's had in assuring a nature preserve at Kingman Island and what that's meant already to the residents of the District of Columbia. In the year of the Anacostia in 2018, Mayor Muriel Bowser, for the first mayor ever in D.C., declared this area a conservation area, meaning that it will be preserved for generations to come, for the children and families and those that come after, that this will be a natural area for environmental education, for respite, for picnicking, for getting out on the water, and few cities have an asset quite like this. And what that's already meant to our city, Mayor, that during the pandemic, when people have been holed up in their homes, not being able to get out with others, a stressful period, that you kept this island open when the national park closed their parks. You kept this open And that's why you just heard from Antonio a record number of visitors, because people came here to calm down, to restore, bring their children out to play, and it was an incredible asset that you helped create for the city, and thank you very much. Let me also say that we've accomplished a lot since the beginning of the mayor's first term. In whether it be cleaning up the river, it be changing streams or drainage ditches into streams, a number of initiatives under the mayor that has helped clean up the river. And I'm proud to say that the Anacostia River is cleaner than it's been in over 50 years. Thank you. And now with the great events coming up, the mayor just announced the Green Boats program. We want to be sure that we continue to extend paddling opportunities and recreational opportunities for all district residents. And that while certainly in some parts that there's new businesses, which is great, that the Anacostia River is creating new businesses around paddling, paddle boards, kayaking, we want to be sure that all district residents have the ability to get out on our waters for free. And in partnership with the with Living Classrooms, we're putting in a public dock that will always be free, and we're partnering with the Department of Parks and Rec to bring in kayaks, to bring in canoes. We'll provide training, teach people how to be safe, to get out on the water, and you'll be checking out a boat just like you would a book out of a public library. And so we're starting with the Green Boats program. The Green Boats program helps people think about the stewardship of our great islands and our rivers, but also it's a teaching opportunity that when they go out on the Green Boats program and they collect trash with the pickers we provide them, and we'll keep them safe, that they come back and they inventory, Mayor, the trash that they got, so we can continue to see that as the plastic bags have decreased, other types of trash has increased, so it helps guide us of what we should be doing. Now, along those lines, we have a number of DOEE events and green activities coming up. We have DOEE Fishing Days starting Saturdays through the summer and across the city. First up, April 24th at Diamond Teague Park, 8:30 to 10:30, and you can get the details at doee.dc.gov. This is a river that's becoming a lot more fishable, and one of my favorite fish that I eat out of the rivers is blue catfish. It's an invasive species. Take all you want, they're delicious. Annual District Sustainability Awards will be April 28th at 4 p.m., be virtual, and again at doee.dc.gov. And that's where we recognize nonprofits and businesses for being sustainable in our city. And Mayor, what's been exciting since your term started the first time, this has become very competitive. I get people that call me to complain, why did they not win? What does it take? And so that is a great distinction to have sustainable green cities, to have our businesses, our residents care deeply about winning a sustainability award. And then island events. Go to kingmanisland.com. This island has its own website, kingmanisland.com, and there's a list of events, activities, including things like Frog Watch, that's a fun one, family fishing events, invasive plant removals, Anacostia green boats, and every now and then we catch bats to see if they're healthy and how they're doing. And that is, a Girl Scout troop did that, and that's why they were able to get the council to name the bat as the district mammal, state mammal. So again, we've got, the mayor has made a substantial investment in creating an urban environmental education center, and it will be an experiential center so that our young people can come out here and have a natural experience without having to get on a bus and going outside the District of Columbia. It'll be right here. And that is a substantial investment in our future. So our young people have all the advantages in our state as they would in any other state. And with that, I want to introduce my friend, really the island manager. Who knew that was a job in D.C.? But we have an island manager, one of my friends, but also certainly a leader with Living Classrooms, who's a great participant with us. I see Doug Siglin is here. Doug is the executive director for Living Classrooms D.C. And and they have other staff here, but thank you very much. Living Classrooms has been really a steward of the island for a number of years now. And again, Lee Kane, my friend, an executive that is the keeper of our islands. Lee?
Thank you, Tommy. I want to start by thanking everyone ranging from the neighbors around Kingman and Heritage Islands, friends of Kingman and Heritage Islands, my coworkers at Living Classrooms, Doug, Portia, Teresa, Antonio, Kay, who are all invested in Kingman and Heritage Islands, the dedicated staff from Department of Energy and Environment, and our exceptional leadership with Mayor Muriel Bowser. This dedication, this team that comes together to love this space it fills my heart. This place is very special. There are lots of special places, but this team that comes together has started something that is becoming a model for other spaces in the region. We're starting with conservation. All of the investments that are made are being led by conservation and with a mind for conservation. The boat dock that's coming, the new trails that are coming, the outdoor classrooms that are coming. So I couldn't be more grateful for the team that's all invested in this space. And wonderful programs. We've heard about the green boats, as Director Wells said. KingmanIsland.org. You can sign up. Every Saturday we'll be out this spring and summer and inviting everyone to come out with us to participate in this program. I want this program to grow, so I want it to be very successful. You don't have to know how to swim to be coming out with us. Our exceptional staff will be there. They're trained. They're ready to guide you on the water. And please keep an eye on all the other programs, Frog Watch, and education programs that we run out here. And big thanks to the Kingman Rangers program that's growing and providing employment opportunities for people in the district. With that, thank you for all the investment. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Lee.
Well, thank you, Lee, for your work here, for Living Classrooms, and our boys and girls from the Alley School. Let's give them a wave for being out and learning and going to school every day outside. And they are not 15 years old, they told me, that they're 5 years old. So let's give a hand to our 5-year-olds. All right, so with that, we'll take your questions. Any questions? Questions? Yes, ma'am.
I have two questions. First for Director Wells. How do you expect the number of visitors to change as more people get vaccinated? And then for Mayor Bowser, could you talk about how demand for the vaccine has changed as more people move off the pre-registration list and as the vaccine is more widely available?
So the question is, how do I expect the visitors to change?
Right. Just because I know you said last year there was a record number of visitors because of the pandemic, people wanting to go outside. I wonder how you anticipate that changing.
What we have found that I think a lot of us have is that they used to call the Anacostia River the Forgotten River. It is no longer forgotten. And so as families and individuals said, hey, during the pandemic, I know the national parks are closed, let's go to Kingman Island, that people had never been here before discovered Kingman Island. And I believe that the number of visitors will continue to grow as people realize this is a fabulous asset that is right next to the new fields. So you can come out here for other activities and then come over to the island and picnic with your family. So I think that the numbers, as people have discovered the island, will continue to grow. And that's pretty exciting. It's a great asset for the city.
And your question for me again?
How has demand for the vaccine changed
So the question is, what are we seeing with demand for the vaccine? So let me just say that we opened up, I guess now, on the 12th, on April 12th, eligibility for all DC residents 16 and over. Our portal, it has been a clearinghouse to distribute those appointments for many weeks now as well. We think today that every person in the portal would have received at least one invitation for the vaccine. So the portal has worked for everybody who's registered in it. Now, you raise another point about demand. So we still have to be focused on the people who aren't registered in the portal and making sure that they know about every opportunity to get the vaccine. Residents who are over this age of 65 can walk up to sites throughout the district, and we expect that soon too will open up to all residents. Yes.
Mayor Bowser, I have an off-topic question for you. And
Okay.
I know the city's been doing a lot of work to get people back to the district. I want to ask you, before we ask more about that specifically, in terms of getting people back, whether it's through tourism or whether working in the city, how much of that depends on reopening with tourism, reopening in the area, COVID restrictions, and how much of that also depends on what people have been seeing in the news since the summer in terms of the city boarding up, the Capitol fencing going up? How does that help?
I think it has everything to do with our ability to crush the virus and get people vaccinated. And that is what we see workers and employers responding to. And every day we see more and more Washingtonians and more people in the region doing exactly that. I think we're at the stage now that everybody who wants a vaccine or who has been the early adopters of getting vaccine will have it. And so now our work is to make sure that people who are waiting are also getting vaccinated. So I really think that's the key to businesses and tourists coming back to more normal activities.
And in Baltimore, we heard the governor say that he's going to have 1,300 workers go to work in the inner city of Baltimore to get workers in that area. What should workers expect here in the D.C. area, the district area?
D.C. government workers?
Yeah.
Well, we've already have more than 60% of our workers who have been reporting. At the height of the pandemic, probably that number was reversed. Like 40% were reporting in person. Now I think we're almost 90% in person. And we will increase that number throughout the spring and summer.
And then what more to get people back, tourists especially?
Say again?
What more is being done to get people back to the district, especially tourists, to help the economy in the downtown area?
Well, I can repeat what I said earlier because that's to me that's the beginning and the end. How are people going to be comfortable getting back to their normal lives? And people are comfortable getting back to their normal lives when we crush the virus and they get vaccinated. And that is really our focus. You covered, I believe, a few weeks ago, we kind of forecasted where we thought we would be with our numbers of infection and with vaccination with an eye towards loosening restrictions on May 1st. Everything that I see now is going to allow us to do that. So we will have, we've advised for months that businesses, non-retail businesses, office uses should have a back-to-work plan, be talking to their employees about what that plan is, and start bringing their workers back as well. We've sent that very clear signal to our museums as well. They actually, since I think January, by my order, can open first at 25% capacity, and May 1st it'll go to 50% capacity. It's also very clear, in addition to the wonderful outdoor uses that we have, we know that people want to use our recreation facilities, which will open along with our pools, and our wonderful trails and parks continue to be a key asset for DC residents.
Did anyone ask about statehood also?
You can. Well, go ahead.
I mean, your response to this is a very important day in DC history, but still little Republican support. It doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere again.
Well, I don't know why you would say that, because it looks very good to me. We have a very clear. Let me not get ahead of the House of Representatives. They're voting today. We expect that they will, for the second time, approve H.R. 51. And I think that we have a very committed president, leader in the Senate, and a strategy that they're putting in place to win the support of their Senate colleagues. So we're going to follow the lead of Leader Schumer and do everything that we can to make sure we have success.
Thank you.
Yes, Sam.
Mayor, I know this isn't technically your bailiwick, but still, I want to ask about people getting their mail in D.C. I just left Brentwood Post Office where people were demanding their mail. They haven't gotten mail in weeks in some cases. And we've been covering this a lot. What can you say in terms of getting mail delivery in this city? In a number of neighborhoods, people haven't seen mail for 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, Sam, that's a problem. I hadn't heard that we had the neighborhoods that were experiencing a 2 or 3 week delay. So let me follow up with our Congresswoman, who usually takes the lead on Postal Service issues, and we certainly will reach out directly. Yes, sir.
Director Wells, could you talk a little bit more specifically about the bag tax impact on bags in the river, and what can you kind of quantify what you're seeing over time, and if not bags, what are you seeing in the river?
Thank you for that question. This marks the 10th year of the bag tax, bag fee, whatever you want to call it, the 5 cents for something that you otherwise, we're going to call it a fee, and because it is a fee, and because it's even the 5 cents is not taxed to the merchants. And so we raise about $2 to $2.5 million a year from that to put in trash traps to clean up the rivers, including things like the Green Boat program. So, Mark, the use of bags and what we found in the rivers has dropped by nearly 70%. And so bags used to be 1/4 of the trash that we found in our rivers and our waterways. Now it's barely 3 to 4%, if not less. So it makes a difference. Now what we see are plastic single-use bottles, and that's what we get calls about. That's the number one. That's the number one item of trash that's still in our waterways. That, as we know, has become an issue to the Chesapeake, to the ocean. But that's it. And we also, as you know, we banned styrofoam. So styrofoam's no longer here. We have compostable takeout containers. We're going to have to redouble our efforts on that after the pandemic. But we've made a lot of we've made a lot of headway on that, Mark. We have a lot less trash of those other items, and we're a leader in the nation of addressing trash into our waterways, but we still have a ways to go.
And Mayor Bowser, could I come back to you on statehood? Sure. What exactly is the plan in the Senate? You say you defer to Leader Schumer for the plan in the Senate. What is that plan to possibly get you, by anybody's math, you don't have 50 Democrats. You certainly don't have 10 Republicans.
We don't have them right now, Mark. And we don't have them yet.
Well, so what is the plan? You said there's a plan to get to that. What is that plan?
It's Senator Schumer's plan. And I think that there was some reporting that he's enlisting former senators who have long histories of working both sides of the aisle. You saw a first ever and a very strong statement of administrative support for the bill, for H.R. 51 and the corresponding Senate bill. And so we know when you can align the House, the Senate, and the White House on an issue, they can get things done. I'm not in the Senate. We don't have 2 senators to work the issue for us. But when people want to get things done and they have the gavel, they can get things done. And so that's what we have to put our faith in and be on the ready to support our leadership in what they call on us to do. But D.C. residents have done what they need to do. They came out to vote. 86% demanding statehood. They've approved a constitution and boundaries. They have lobbied like crazy, and they continue to do so. And so we're going to push every lever that we can and follow the strategy to get it done. Yes.
I have a follow-up to my earlier question. I know you mentioned that the city is starting to focus more on people who aren't pre-registered for the vaccine does that mean that demand is beginning to soften, or is it going up or decreasing? Just wondering what demand looks like now as compared to earlier in the rollout.
If you're asking me how many people are getting vaccinated every day, I would have to ask the team to give you a number.
No, I'm more so asking. I know, for example, when seniors became eligible for the vaccine, demand was very high. All seniors wanted the vaccine. I guess I'm wondering.
All
now
seniors
that
didn't want the vaccine.
Okay,
What you noticed at the beginning was the scarcity of vaccine.
Okay.
More people demanding it than vaccine that we had supply of. We're seeing every week increased levels of supply. I'm not going to remember off the top of my head, like from week to week, how our registrations have gone up. But what we know now is that our supply of vaccine is allowing us to meet the demand in our registration portal.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Going back to the Green Boat program.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we just mentioned about, what we're seeing in the water as far as plastics and things that people will be picking up when they are part of the Green Boat program. When they're looking at coming out and doing their part, and you look at, maybe bacteria levels, things like that, what should they be wearing to keep themselves safe against the things we can't see that are in the water?
It's a great question. First off, the bacterial levels are much better, and some days it's safe, and after a very big rain, sometimes it's not as safe. So we will keep that on our website of what days are safer than others. But being outdoors in any urban area, you should always wash your hands, no matter what. Use protocols to keep safe, no matter whatever outdoors river body you're in. But we do know that the instances of high bacteria have decreased, and now we're doing a study to see where that bacteria comes from. But the tunnel project from DC Water has decreased the amount of overflows from the sewer system by more than 80%. And not long from now, they'll be opening up the rest of the tunnel, and it'll decrease any overflow by more than 98%. So we're getting cleaner, and also we're maintaining on our website, along with the River Keeper in partnership, who test bacteria levels for us, doing citizen science.
My second question is, I don't know if this is going to be for you or the mayor, but looking at, obviously we had to spend some funds to get these canoes and kayaks and to have this become available. How much trash would, coming out of this would really equate to, paying for what we have, and what's available for people to use for free?
Well, first off, let me say that the residents and the visitors to Washington, D.C. help pay for these efforts through the 5-cent bag fee. And so they help pay for these efforts, and the whole purpose of the fee is for cleaning up the river. And so it is used to do this, to do more cleanup. But really there's three things that we want from the Green Boat program. We want people to get out on the river and experience the beauty of what we have here and realize this is a treasure to be protected and promoted in DC. Second, we want access to all DC residents for free to get out on the waterways and enjoy this asset that we're creating and bringing back. And then third, the trash part is, I don't know how much of a difference we'll make on how much trash we get out on the total amount, but what we will do is we'll be able to continue to monitor and assess what's the most trash that's coming that we're picking up. Is it candy wrappers? Does it continue to be plastic bottles? Is it, what else is it? So that informs the mayor what she needs to address to continue cleaning up the river.
Gotcha, thank you.